to this week's episode. It is our 2-year anniversary. We are in Virginia, in Colonial Williamsburg. Jen is waiting outside for me to talk to you guys about all the stuff we want to talk to you today about the 2-year anniversary. So we're going to be visiting Williamsburg, but we also wanted to tell you about some of the things that we wish we knew when we were getting started.
Hey everyone! Thanks for joining us on another episode. And so
She was ready.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about, like you said, the things we wish we had knew before we started RVing.
Yeah.
And now that we've been doing it 2 years, we're still technically newbies, but there's definitely some things that I wish we knew before we got started.
Yeah. If I could talk to 2 years ago me
Yes.
in the past right now, this is kind of some of the stuff that I'd want to tell them.
Yeah, definitely.
So what's the first thing on your list?
I think we should start with like the big one, and is always a topic on the forums, the truck.
Okay. Yeah, so whenever somebody wants to get a camper, the first thing they say is, what kind of truck do I need?
Gas or diesel?
That? Or rather, is my truck okay to pull this thing?
Ooh, that's always a big one. I've got XYZ type of vehicle.
Yeah.
What can I pull with it?
Very heated discussion, gas versus diesel.
Yeah.
Of course, diesel people will tell you you have to get diesel, and there's probably nothing wrong with that choice. But gas is acceptable as well, as we found out. So what I would say to me before was we got a camper that fit our truck.
Because we had just had the truck for less than a year.
Yeah.
And we were not wanting to upgrade. Like, this was we were taking this jump. We didn't know how long we were going to do this.
Right.
So we just wanted to keep our truck and find something that fit our current truck.
We didn't plan to go RV life when we bought the truck. So then it was like, okay, we have a truck. Right. Can we do RV life with the truck? So we bought a camper that fit the size of our truck. And what we probably should have done is gone out and just got a bigger truck. Because then we could have got something a little bit more comfortable camper-wise that would have fit our family a little bit better. So,
I mean, and along those lines, I mean, if you're thinking about do your research. Our truck was acceptable for the camper that we had.
Yeah.
And so you'll hear people sometimes talk about, like, yeah, your truck says that you can pull that, but like, what's your stopping power going to be? Or can you make it up the mountains? And that's where our truck fell short. Is we were really great in, like, on the southeast area. Yeah. And then once we started heading into mountains, that's where we started having problems.
Yeah, I mean, the truck had 130,000 miles on it. Yeah. It was like starting to overheat. And I mean, honestly, it was overheating in a way that was not natural for even towing. Like, we would be doing 20 miles an hour going uphill and make it about 100 feet, and it would just overheat. Yeah. Stop on the side of the road for 20 minutes, let it cool down, try to move again, and immediately start overheating. So, like, we had continual problems. I tried to get it fixed. We had several things done to it. Nothing seemed to work, so we ended up buying a bigger truck. So. Yeah,
so number one, do your homework about the truck. And number two, this is the one thing that I definitely think going bigger is better, because getting the bigger truck, you have so many more options for what kind of travel trailer or fifth wheel or toy hauler that you're going to get to be able to be comfortable and, most importantly, be safe as a full-time RVer. So in this instance, bigger is better. So before we continue on, I am going to show you a park that's right down the street from our campground. I took the kids the other day. It's pretty cool. I think Mark told you guys that we're staying at, did you tell them which park we're staying at?
No.
Oh, we're staying at Chickahominy Riverfront Campground and Park. And we are about 15 minutes from Jamestown in Virginia, the Jamestown settlement. Probably like 20 minutes from Williamsburg. And like 45 minutes from Yorktown. Great little park, and they do have a playground here, but this particular playground has a feature that got Kennedy's eye, and we just had to go check it out.
All right, what's next on the list?
So this is for the families out there who are looking to get into this lifestyle, and we're talking about the kids and all of the awesome things that happen when you have kids in a camper, and then some of the stuff that like nobody really tells you that's gonna happen when you have a camper. Like,
yeah, so we have 3 kids.
Yep.
Let's just say that. So we needed a bunkhouse in ours so that we can accommodate all the kids so they each get their own bed and have their own little space.
Yep.
So, I mean, number 1 is, what would you say,
the house
number 1?
shakes.
Yeah.
And some people will tell you they can feel their child turn over at night.
Yeah.
You know, Cooper doesn't weigh very much, and he sounds like a herd of elephants coming through our house some days. So here's the reality of it. If you have kids, you're going to feel, I mean, I think you feel it in a camper anyway, but like having the kids makes it like that much worse.
Yeah, it's hard because when you move and you're shaking the camper for everyone else, you don't really feel it. And so they don't really know what they're doing, but everybody else feels the shaking of the camper. Now, I will say, hopefully next week's episode, I'll show you the solution to the camper to stop shaking.
Yeah, what we're doing to try to fix that, remedy that situation.
We're working on that this week, but it's not ready yet.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're at Colonial Williamsburg. It is gigantic.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, you need like 4 days to see this place. Because I work, we only have the weekend, so we're in for a couple mega days.
The next thing,
Here's another thing that people don't really tell you, and I guess I certainly...
it's discussed in the forums a lot.
I mean, and I think we kind of knew this, but like I don't think you really understand it until you're living it. But the reality is there's no privacy in a camper. Like, and I'm not talking just about the adult time, because there's definitely not privacy for that. But I'm talking about the bathroom even.
Yeah, just personal space.
Personal
you know?
space, like, and I know some people do this kind of thing where they require their families to go use the campground bathrooms. But here's the thing, everybody knows everybody's bodily functions in our house. They know when you do it. We know who smells the worst.
I mean, when you use the bathroom in an RV, everybody can hear you. It's just the nature of the situation. So, you know, you get closer in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, and then if you've got kids, then it becomes almost a game to them. Like, it's really funny. So-and-so made it stinky, like, you know, and then it's so, privacy is definitely, and then, you know, we talked about the adult privacy. Some people have found some awesome solutions. Go check the forums for them.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
So going along with the privacy issue is that it's a small space, and if you have children, then small space breeds conflict, you know?
Yeah, I think this is a big one. I mean, we're not gonna lie, not every day is like just they don't love each other every day. It just doesn't happen. We have 2 kids that are in that in-between age where, you know, personal space is becoming a very big issue to them. They have what they would perceive sometimes as an annoying little brother, you know, and so things happen. You know, people like some quiet time, they like some downtime, and that's often hard when you live the way that we do to get that.
Yeah.
So conflicts escalate very quickly because there's this much space to move.
Yeah, so one thing we found that really seems to help is some 1v1 time. So, like, Bryce loves 1v1 time with me. So, in our last episode, took him to the Navy football game. Absolutely loved that time with me.
Yeah.
Made memories for a lifetime of that. So, that was really great. So
yeah, and that's a really good thing. Like, if you are like us and you've got multiple children in your house, having that one-on-one time with the parent or with the parents is a real big deal. And so, and I say parent, just one parent at a time maybe, because we know it's hard to find babysitters. So it doesn't always happen that the both of us could go with a kid because we don't often have babysitters.
All right, where are we off to next?
We're heading over to Yorktown.
All right.
I think the next thing that we should talk about,
It's something everybody asks.
it's on every forum.
Yeah.
Is RV life cheaper?
What a loaded question, right? So like,
It is 100% subjective.
it's as cheap as you want to make it. It's as expensive as you want to make it.
Right.
So that's the short answer. For us, how do you feel it is? Is it cheaper than living in a house? The way we're living?
Definitely.
Okay.
And I think, but again, I think that goes back to where you live in the country. We came from Florida, and it was cheaper. It is cheaper to live for us this way. I think if you're somebody who's coming from one of those states where the cost of living is extremely high, you definitely could learn. You could definitely live a lot cheaper this way.
Right. So campgrounds will run you anywhere between $0 for boondocking or harvest hosting to $100+ a night if you're up in the Northeast at a resort, depending on the features the campground has.
Yeah.
We find that a nice kind of middle ground is state and county parks, regional parks.
Army Corps of Engineer.
Yeah.
And national parks if we can fit into them.
We like those because you can usually get full hookups. The amenities aren't terrible. Like there's bathrooms and showers usually.
At the very minimum, most of those we're getting electric and water.
Yeah, if not full hookup.
Yeah,
right?
I think like for somebody who's getting ready to embark on this or is considering this, I really think you just need to sit down and figure out a monthly budget. And another way to keep your costs down, and especially for a lot of people who do like the resorts but are able to keep the cost down, is joining some of the camping programs. There's a ton of different programs out there like Thousand Trails and Escapees and you know, on the other end, you've got your Harvest Hosts and Boondockers. KOA's got a program. There's Passport America. So there are some ways to save some money, but have all the luxuries also.
Yeah, the one thing we thought was really helpful right away, because we were staying at like state parks pretty much exclusively our first year, was just to buy the state park pass for whatever state you're going to be in. So like we were in Texas for 2 months. We bought the state park pass. We were in Montana for a month and a half. We bought the state park pass. And it immediately starts saving you money on the rentals in those states for the campgrounds.
Yeah.
And they literally just pay for themselves the first time you use them. Plus we were visiting state parks and there's no entry fees when you've got the annual park pass. So I mean, we bought like 8 different state park passes.
So definitely look into that, because it's a great way to save money on your camping. It's a great way like for exploring the area to get into other parks for free. It really made a lot of sense for us to have that pass, and I highly recommend that you look into it.
All right, the last tip we want to bring to you that I wish I knew, which actually this one I did know. So I'll start it with this way. Do not get the extended warranty from the dealer. They're gonna offer you an extended warranty, just don't get it. If you're going full-time, you're not gonna be around. You're gonna be somewhere else in a different state. You're never gonna use that warranty. It's thousands of dollars out of your pocket that will never go anywhere. Even if you stay near it, your camper could be like months at the RV place while they try to fix it.
And I would say that I've maybe heard of like very small percentage of people who have extended warranties who have benefited from it, but the mass majority of people don't. And here's like a couple of reasons why. Like Mark was saying, we're full timing, so we're moving around the country, and I don't want to stay near where we bought our camper from.
Right.
And the second thing is that sometimes they require you to come in and do regular like checkups to make sure that things are okay in order to keep your warranty.
Right.
And the third thing is, most of the time, and they don't always tell you this up front, but like they find out you're full timing, that voids your warranty.
Yeah, so it's completely useless.
Right.
Just do not do it. You know, little things are gonna go wrong. Trim pieces are gonna pop out. You're gonna have a little water leak here and there. We had on our last camper, we had the water heater go bad. We had I don't know, just a bunch of different things.
Leaf springs.
Yeah, leaf springs. We just repaired all that stuff ourselves, or had, you know, a professional do it.
And of course we like, you know, submitted to insurance when it was necessary kind of situation. But for the most part, your best bet like is knowing that things are going to happen. It is a house on wheels. It's like it goes through an earthquake every time that you move it.
Yeah.
And the reality is these recreation vehicles were meant to be used a handful of times during a year. We're literally using it 365 days a year.
Yeah.
You're putting a lot of stress and strain on them. And I get it. We pay a lot of money for them, and you know, everybody thinks that they should hold up a lot better. But I'm not excusing the manufacturers. It's just the nature is that we are putting a lot of stress on this unit.
Yeah.
And things are going to happen. So invest in a good toolkit.
Yeah.
Keep like things like plumber stuff on hand, whether that be like plumber's tape, wrenches, silicone.
Yeah.
You know,
I do have a set of tools for all that stuff that I
Right.
didn't have when I had a house, because now I manage it myself. Because, you know, in an emergency situation, you need to be able to fix those things yourself, and you just YouTube your way through it. I did that for replacing the water heater. I did that for rewiring water tubes like that were leaking. You know, we replaced faucets and added lights and like all kinds of little things. You just end up doing it yourself. You know, go to the school of YouTube and figure it out, because it's way faster and cheaper than waiting for the RV dealership to do it.
While there's definitely things that you should take your RV back to the RV dealer for, like major things, you will probably be a lot less stressed and happier in life if you learn to probably like handle some of the little stuff yourself.
Yep.
Me personally, I don't want to take it back to the dealership. I don't have time for that. I got other places and things that I want to do than go to the dealership.
No.
So if it's something simple that like Mark can fix, then great. He fixes it and we move on our way. And if it's like something major, then
that's what insurance is for.
Right.
You know?
That's what we're going to call and we're going to get it taken care of.
It's either insurance, or it's the like 1-year warranty that came with the camper when you bought it new. You just go back to the manufacturer if it's something really bad. So but you know, that's why you have insurance. So I will say this as we're wrapping up this episode, I'm going to give you one bonus tip that has changed our life and we had no idea about until just recently.
Oh my gosh.
Get yourself an instant water heater.
The endless water heater. Oh my gosh.
Tankless water heaters that provide endless hot water. Life changer.
If you don't have one, like I never knew it was the thing that our family needed and would benefit so much from. But it is the most amazing thing. I can like wash all the dishes. Everybody can take showers.
We absolutely love it.
It's like, it's probably our favorite thing about the new camper.
So thank you for watching.
Yes.
Next week, hopefully we'll be telling you about how to stiffen up your camper so that it doesn't wiggle and shake every time somebody moves.
Yeah, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up down below. And if you want to see more from us, don't forget to hit the bell so you'll get notified when new stuff comes out.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching.